There's only one kind of straight relationship dynamic that works.
I'm so afraid to have kids because what if worst case scenario?
I don't think guys realize how low the bar is. Girls be talking to.
I didn't used to enjoy telling men what to do.
Welcome to the wall. What an interesting theory. Should a man be submissive to a woman for the relationship to work? That's what some feminists say. That if the masculine dedicates itself to serving, worshiping, and always prioritizing the feminine, everything will be happy and long-lasting. Of course, because nothing ever goes wrong when one gives everything and the other just receives. Before we continue, subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. It's free, but that small gesture helps the channel grow a lot. Now then, without further introduction, let's get started.
There's only one kind of straight relationship dynamic that works. And this is my professional opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna flex my useless gender studies degree, okay? And that is a dynamic where the man is the more patient, tolerant, and obsessed person in the relationship. Anything else is doomed. My own straight relationship is a testament to this. And that is simply because of the way the odds are stacked in the society that we live in. I don't make the rules, I'm just observing them. Look at any healthy, long-term straight relationship that you know of and tell me that this is not the dynamic.
I'm so afraid to have kids because what if worst case scenario? What if I have a boy?
I would feel very sorry for that child if such a person was to be their potential mother, because unfortunately, this is really a sign of how much the prejudice against men has become almost normalized in our society, and that misandry is such a mainstream part of it, that this is not an uncommon sentiment that has been expressed by many women who despise men. They would rather not have children at all than have a boy.
Sorry, have you ever met a boy, like at any age?
Oh, wait, this is going somewhere, and it's disturbing.
They're all obsessed with jacking off or violent things or violently jacking off.
Well, that was just troubling. However, I would like to take this moment to address those women out there that happen to agree with what that person said. If you are of the opinion that you do not like the way that your child is behaving, or that they are doing inappropriate things, in your opinion, do you know whose fault that is? It's not the fault of the child, because they are a child. That would be the fault of the parents or parent who does not teach their child acceptable boundaries and appropriate behaviors. Parents are responsible for raising their children to be responsible adults, but some of you just want to blame it on their gender. It's time to accept some personal responsibility.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I don't think guys realize how low the bar is. Girls be talking to a guy and it's like, oh, he's taking interest in my life. Oh, he's asking me questions. The bare minimum. If you're talking to someone, anyone, forget a relationship, human connection, it's a back and forth motion. It's not a one-sided conversation. If you're talking to someone and you're telling them about your life, it is normal to do follow-ups and ask questions back and forth. I just saw this TikTok post and this girl was saying, I feel like men are afraid to ask questions. And I don't think it's that they're afraid to ask questions. They just don't care. They don't care to ask questions. And it's kind of sad because that is human connection. I feel like men are afraid to talk about their emotions, to have some form of connection. What do you mean? I'm telling you about my day and I'm telling you, oh, I'm going on a trip soon. And you write back, I love trips. I'll be talking about my dog. And then if a guy says, oh, I love dogs. Okay, there's 1,000 other things we could ask here. Oh, you have a dog? What kind of dog do you have? That is my first immediate thought. But for some men, it's like, oh, I love dogs. They have to bring it and make it about themselves and tell you about themselves. That is literally how low the bar is, because there's a whole generation of men out there that just don't give a shit about you or your day or what you're doing because they don't ask questions and they don't want to get to know you on a deep, meaningful level. Everything has to be surface, or they just have to make it about them, which is actually so freaking sad. Come on now. If anything, I love asking people questions and I love getting to know them. It keeps life interesting. I don't want to just talk about myself the whole time. It's exhausting.
Stop it. Get some help.
I didn't used to enjoy telling men what to do, but that has changed. So, in my experience, men are submissive. They are the non-dominant player in the species, and they want instructions at all times. They want to be told what to do. Yeah. And I used to like kind of pussyfoot around the issue, like, oh, if you want to, or wouldn't you mind, or would it be okay if, but now it's flat out like, this is what needs to happen. And I didn't even explain why. It's just yeah. Tell man what to do. With no apologies, with no filler, with no explanations, with no justs or, yeah, qualifiers. Just boss them around. They like it. They do. They do.
The funny thing is, she admits it herself. Her degree in gender studies is useless. How humble of her. Imagine being at a dinner with doctors and engineers, and you drop, "I'm a gender expert." The universities must be laughing while they charge thousands for that decorative little piece of paper. The longer a woman stays single, the more unbalanced she seems. I read that if she doesn't channel her maternal instinct, that energy gets diverted and ends up affecting her mind. It's no coincidence they lead the statistics in antidepressant use. They're lacking real direction. Look at this. One is afraid of having a boy because she has a negative view of men. Another gives orders to men like they're pets. And the third gets emotional just because a guy asks her basic questions about her day. All of them single, all of them upset about not having a partner, each one with her own version of frustration. Funny, isn't it? We men prefer peace over getting involved in that spectacle. And apparently, that gets to them, being on the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
I do want a submissive man. Like, I want the man to be manly and I want him to take charge. But when I speak, I want him to listen and I want him to respect what I'm saying. And I want him to be a little scared of me. And I want him to be willing to do whatever it takes to make me happy. So yes, I absolutely do want a submissive man. I don't think there's anything wrong with submissive men. I think those are actually the sexiest, most intriguing men there are out there. Why would I want a man that doesn't listen to me? Why would I want a man that's not a little scared of me or afraid of me? You should be a little fearful when I come around. You should sit up straight, button up your shirt, obey orders.
Submission is a masculine trait, not a feminine one. Think about it. If submission was natural to women, they wouldn't need centuries of laws and religions and punishments to force women into obeying. Women would just obey. Throughout history, women resist, collaborate, and in hunter-gatherer societies, women share resources, food, and childcare. In history, women have led protests, strikes, revolutions. Men compete. Smaller men submit to bigger men. That's where submission came from. It's all from men. And these same small men turn around and say, wait, women and children are smaller than me. Why don't they submit to me? Submission isn't a feminine trait. It's a masculine hierarchy trait projected onto women.
They told you Eve was the problem. But in that story, Eve is the true leader. You see, she was the first one to question control, first one to seek truth. She didn't wait for permission. She made a choice, not to sin, but to awaken. Meanwhile, Adam's sitting there, completely quiet, not even questioning anything, obeying it all, submitting without any thought of his own, and Eve is the only one doing any critical thinking, while Adam is following her lead. The world woke up because of her. And now we get to live freely, we get to savor this fleeting, beautiful life of ours, we get to taste knowledge. So they may try to convince us that we are something else, but know this. Women have always led, even in their Eden.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Men, I think what you have confused is that as a woman, I don't need you any longer.
What is there to be confused about? Most men understand that women don't actually need men in their lives, but a lot of individuals don't understand the difference between need and want.
Like up until the 70s, I needed you to get a credit card. Up until recently, I needed you to have a baby.
The most terrifying part is there are a lot of women out there that actually do believe that they don't need a male's contribution to get pregnant.
I don't need you anymore. You don't complete me, like Jerry Maguire said. I am complete by myself.
If someone is so complete, why talk so much about something that a person doesn't need unless they want it?
So when I say you have to earn me, it's that you have to earn the right to receive my time, my beauty, my femininity, my softness. Like I'm an add value to you more than you're an add value to me.
Add value. Speaking as if people are nothing more than objects whose price goes up with the addition of accessories. And some women wonder why they get objectified when they seem to speak about themselves as if they are objects.
That's where I think you're getting confused on what we're saying, that it's not 50-50, it's 90-10. Okay?
I foresee a lot of very lonely women in the future, mostly because those that think this way have not the faintest idea how relationships work in the first place. So I guess it's a good thing that they don't need men.
Funny how one of the reasons for the fall of the West might be having given so much freedom to these kinds of people. Just look at birth rates. In the East, the Pacific, and Central Asia, they're rising without a problem. It's only the West that's hitting rock bottom. What a coincidence, right? Over there, women are raised to be wives and mothers. Over here, they're trained to be empowered and end up rewriting the Bible to make Eve the hero, demanding submissive men who are a little afraid of them, or saying they don't need us, but that we need them at a 90-10 ratio. And if you have any doubts, just check out the comments on these videos. I am in complete agreement on this. When I serve and honor the feminine in my house is when the love, abundance, and joy flow freely. Mom of 2 boys, did I want a girl? Yes, but I wouldn't trade either of my sons for a daughter. They are the greatest blessing I have ever gotten. I was meant to be their mama. I can't imagine having a girl now. Ha 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 ha. Never? The problem starts when you use words like never. We aren't servers. And if you're not happy now, the type of guy you want won't put up with you anyway. I'm a misandrist, but really want a boy. My partner and I have 4 girls between us already. I actually prefer to also have a boy, as that way there is no way that child will suffer from half the things I do medically. I prefer my child to have and do better in life. My mom wanted a girl. She got a boy and now hates me for it, like I was able to pick broken heart. As a masculine man/husband, this is fact. I live and breathe to respect, love, protect, and provide for my wife and family. I do ask from a woman's perspective if a man is meant to serve. What is a woman's mindset that also benefits her partner? Women will sacrifice their family for their happiness. Men will sacrifice their happiness for their family. In your honor, I rest my case. What she described is a one-sided relationship where the man are expected to put in all the work and the woman doesn't have to do anything. And somehow the man is supposed to be happy with that raising hands. I had a psych professor tell all the girls in my class if we wanted a marriage to last, we needed to find a man who loved us more than we loved them. This is why your degree is useless. The man has to prove himself to a man-hating woman, rather than finding a woman who respects herself and her partner.
Men are meant to serve. The masculine is meant to serve the feminine. Tell me a relationship where a woman prioritizes everyone else over herself, where a woman bends over backwards for everyone else in her life. She does everything for her spouse, for her partner. None of that is reciprocated. She never has time to herself. She can't take care of herself. Tell me a relationship where that woman is happy. Tell me a relationship where that is a positive, joyful, beautiful marriage. Tell me a relationship where a man puts himself first and the woman is still happy. It doesn't exist. The successful, happy, joyful relationships that you see are where a man has a service mindset, where a man devotes and adores himself to the woman, to the feminine, where the masculine is serving. That does not mean that he's always submissive. That does not mean that she's always dominant. But the service mindset, the providing, the protecting, the serving, the devotion, the adoration, the respect for the feminine, that is the way we are meant to thrive in relationships. The masculine serving the feminine.
Funny, isn't it? They preach that the masculine is meant to serve the feminine, that a man should worship, provide, and devote himself completely. And then, when he does, she ends up cheating on him, filing for divorce, and throwing out lines like, "You neglected me." I deserve to be happy, or the kids need to see me happy. In the end, it all revolves around her happiness. It's no coincidence there's a saying, a man sacrifices his happiness for the family. A woman sacrifices the family for her happiness. That's why they initiate 80% of divorces. They expect the world to revolve around them, for the man to serve without question. And then they're surprised they don't have a partner. Of course, they don't realize that no man with options is going to sign up to live under a dictatorship. That's why the wall will keep collecting victims, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Women.
We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do they demand that men worship and serve them if they also claim they don't need us at all? If women no longer need men and would rather rewrite the Bible to make themselves the eternal leaders, then why do they end up so alone and talking so much about us? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.